with regards to the very simply titled puzzle, um, yeah, in a way it's sort of quirky, sort of like Butter was in the simply titled as well, but I think it has even less that is sort of interesting, I suppose one could say. I mean, it's still sort of quirky, but not quite a lot, not as much as making butter statues, I suppose one could say. Um, and I'm not entirely sure what the point of it is either. In a way, it's sort of like Wonder Wheel, where as I said, some movies do not really go much anywhere. I mean, sure, at the end there, she decided to finally visit the place where she wanted to go for some reason, never quite specified, which is sort of a detractor, really. I don't know. She just seems to like it for no reason, really. Or at least not a reason that is indeed stated. And yet, she decided to not go to the final for no reason as well. When things happen for no reason in a story, it doesn't really bode well, I think, in my opinion. I mean, it's not, it doesn't seem fair, does it? Okay. Or even rational. That's the point, right? Rational is the adjective for, reason, which is the noun. And, it's sort of a good thing to have in a movie or a story of any kind, really. The fact that she just for some reason declined to go, presumably going to stay with her official husband, although it's not quite explicitly stated. She presumably decided after he took care of the broken glass, after which she decided that um, I'm not entirely sure if that's what the song at the end implies as well. In the end credits, something about growing and presumably healing and whatnot, and the potential of such. But it still makes no sense that she doesn't go to the final. Just because that, I don't know. But ultimately, I guess story is told however people want to tell it. So I notice it's not quite very popular here. There's like a few thousand raters, not over 10,000. So yeah, kind of an obscure movie, I suppose, in a sense. I mean, it's only been out for a couple of, well, 3 years now, I suppose. But still, yeah, it's certain was anyway. It's just a drama mostly, but quirky drama still. I mean, there's all sorts of movies about and stories generally about uh, affairs, but not quite an affair being held with someone who also does puzzles as a competition. It's kind of a unfair thought that she didn't go. As I said, I'm not saying it has anything to do with specifically real life of the actors, but this was the final movie of Irfan Khan, who plays her partner, and so to be left like that is a bit yeah. Um, uh, so otherwise, so it was sort of interesting. So it's not, I'm not saying it's below average or so, but I don't think it's above average. That's the problem. It's sort of like how she described very weird description, but how this she described sex at one point. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. You know, sort of strange way to describe. Yeah, but so was the movie. I wouldn't compare it though. Anyway, yeah, it had a few comic bits, I suppose. Kind of like showing up at his door there with that thing on her forehead. Not sure what if people really do that, as in show up to strangers like that. A bit strange as a first impression and all. Even if you're willing to have that normally, but so anyway. Other than that, though, yeah, I suppose it's an exploration of what people want to do and why they do it. Kind of like her own son wanting to cook and she backing him up in that, which is well, I don't know, but you know, and her husband had many defects, but ultimately, I guess, yeah, the reason why she decided to stay, I suppose, is because yeah, he did very much, I suppose, try to not. I mean, he still said some mean things, and throwing away her puzzle at one point is the meanest, I suppose, action he ever took, as opposed to verbal mean things. Um, but other than that, it's I suppose it's and yeah, actually, it's his last English performance, not just last movie in general. Yeah, but yeah, it just seems to me like the ending is just strange because it's sort of contradictory as well, right? So it implies that yeah, she should follow her dream of going to Montreal for whatever reason she wanted to go, but then not go to the final match just because what she wanted to stay with her husband, presumably contradictory, right? So I'm not sure what they're trying to say there. They're trying to say that yeah, no, she shouldn't be tempted to turn him up. It's just bizarre, right? It makes no sense. This is why it's at best an average movie because it's contradictory and other than that it does have drama, but it's not drama that is even clear at all in what it's trying to say. And it's really going around in circles and doesn't have a reason behind it either. That's the problem, really. By the way, it's kind of funny how on the poster it says, for producers of Little Miss Sunshine, which I've watched, but I mean it's really different. It's it has much more comedy and whatnot. But anyway, the point is, what's the point of that at all? Because producers, as far as I know, don't usually have creative say. Well, I suppose they could, but it's not like a director or anything else. Generally, I mean, they could, I suppose, but it's not like the writers either or anything. So I'm not entirely sure. Usually, I don't think they usually say producers. From producers, they usually say from directors. But yeah, anyway. So anyway, ultimately, it's interesting that although to be fair, I'm not sure why it's a remake. Uh, uh, I haven't seen the original, so I couldn't tell if it added anything, but that doesn't quite seem like it would need a remake unless somehow people just think that they need to be made in different language and such. But it's really what subtitles are for generally. So anyway, um, it's still interesting though that there are movies, plural I guess, about puzzles. Although the original apparently has a strange name, I'm not really sure what it means. I'm not sure, maybe it doesn't seem Spanish, but I'm not sure. So yeah, it's interesting that it's about puzzles. Puzzles aren't quite what they usually do. So anyway, it's interesting to see people do their own hobby, whatever that is in movies. Whether it's building better sculptures or whatever else. You know, um, but in the end, it's not quite. I don't know. It still feels unfulfilled. Sure, cinematographically interesting to look at, but otherwise, as a drama, it sort of goes around. But, just it's still sort of there's still something missing as a drama per se. As previously mentioned, but said that that's pretty much it, I guess.